Okay, so do you know? So usually when someone calls in DCS, they call that the report source.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had the same report source for all these, or have they been different?
All of them up until the October incident of 2019, the one where they substantiated, and then
Removed your kids.
all of those were Billy and Anya.
That were making the reports?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the last 3 that occurred in 2019, those were my ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
Who became friends with Billy and Anya after they broke up. Okay. And then he told her, and we can show you,
I have it
that
in a
he
text
was going
message.
to assist Billy in getting her kids removed
Gotcha.
still, or continues, There's also, we believe, see, all these report sources are not given to us. We don't know who they
Right.
are. What we do have is proof in the way of a threat and then a report, right? So like he'll say, I'll give you an example. 1 year ago, he had posted on Facebook. He got angry with me for asking if she could talk to her daughter, right?
Okay.
Which is not illegal. They're supposed to. She has
Right.
partial custody even. And he's been refusing them to be able to communicate. So I contacted him and I said, what's so bad about letting her talk to her daughter for Christmas? You know what I mean? Like, just do it. And he got mad at me, and he goes on to Facebook, social media, and he accused me of child molestation.
Okay.
Publicly, using my full name and everything. And then fast forward 1 year, and you got the one you read.
Which is
This
this
one
one here.
Yeah,
Okay.
child.
So
Nobody has ever accused me of anything like that in my life.
So when there is, so here's what I learned that I didn't know, in full disclosure. So this is the only statute that I can find where they say you give it to the prosecutor. Usually when we get something, if there's a murder, the police go out, they investigate it, they do the evidence collection and say, okay, Otto, what do you want to do with it?
Right.
This here, there's 2 avenues, right? So if DCS, they have like a whole hierarchy of staffing, and if their staff says we believe this is a false report, then they refer it to us. Or under section D2, so you believe that you've been a victim of a false report, right? That's fair, right? You all believe that. And this is no longer a pending case because it's unsubbed. So I think you all qualify as well to ask us to review the relevant child abuse and neglect records.
Okay.
So I think,
Under that statute.
I
under
think
the
under-
false reporting statute.
yeah, so this is under, so DCS's policy is derived from C, but there's another mechanism where you can ask for a review, and that would be under D2. Well, D, which would be 1 and 2.
That means we've experienced a failure of the understanding of this statute in Scott County before. Okay, I'm
At
thankful.
least that's what I think. That's what I think it means.
That's what we
But-
thought too, Otto. So like we
don't
actually
really have
brought
any-
that to their attention, saying this is necessary, it's mandatory.
So what I want to do, what I think the correct procedure would be.
Yeah, I had to break in there. That's twice now. Christopher's done that to Tiffany. When this clip first started, she started to speak, and she got a couple sentences out. Then he interjects, and as she's trying to speak over him, you can hear him raise his voice to take control of the conversation. And he just did it again. She tried to speak, and you can hear, his volume level, decibel level goes up. And then the decibels are really noticeable when you're wearing headphones. But you can hear it go up and basically taking control of the conversation. All right, so what you got here, this could be boring as hell, so I don't want to go through the whole thing. He basically is trying to take the information that of false reporting, which is criminal. Defamation's not. It's not criminal, it's civil. And make a case that way on this Christopher guy. And, is what it is. And it's all being, it's being shared with us. I think the my initial thoughts on this pretty much hold true. You've got a guy that caught one, and she was a keeper, and didn't turn out to be that way, and they obviously had a child, so that makes it even more intense. But they go through a salty split up, divorce, what have you. And then this guy's not too happy with her. Apparently she had another boyfriend before Christopher, and he became friends with whatever the other guy's, Bill. Jesus, how can I keep all this straight? And then so, now Christopher's fighting not one but two battles, and probably because of their disdain for her. It makes you wonder if Chris wonders sometimes if maybe he should have packed up and gone on home that night, or at least throw back a few more catches and wait and see what happens. This is silliness, people. So there's still quite a bit left on this, and I'm going to go ahead, since I've gone this far, I'm going to go ahead and complete it. But we can see pretty much what the nonsense is and what caused all this. And once again, more than likely in a case like that, things like the roofs, maybe parts of it are true. A lot of embellishments in these situations. It's possible that it was a lady that called about her roof, and it was the roof on the doghouse, and the story got turned. You just don't know until you can read the case. So, but the embellishments are going to be there, because that's just obvious as can be. So that's the way those kind of things go. Anyway, I just had to point out that he does not let her, and I think he would probably should, since this is more of her life that he's trying to, whatever it is he's trying to do. I mean, save face. I don't know. What is he's trying to do? Save face, I guess. He wants his YouTube channel to grow. Well, you're going up against the wrong person if you're going to battle Predator Troll in that, because he's the master of growing channels. There's a couple of them out there that they bring it up pretty regular. I heard him mention earlier about subs. Look, he had this many subs, he's got that many now. Channel's growing fast. So, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I guess because I'm not here looking at that kind of stuff as being important, it isn't to me. I'm probably a rarity, I guess. All right, back to it.
Because what I don't want to do is, let's say, I will tell you, false reporting is harder than hell to prove.
Yeah.
In full disclosure, it is extremely difficult. So there was a case under this one here. I've shepherdized it. So back in 2007, it went up to the Court of Appeals, not Supreme Court, and they had proof that mom had told the kid, or you tell your therapist you were molested, because they knew the therapist has a duty. You got to report that. They're a mandatory reporter. Mm-hmm. And there was evidence of that. I think mom never disputed that. So where it was clear she planted this in the kid's head, that's when you can prove false reporting. Mm-hmm.
Did the kid admit that it was planted?
I don't know. So like when we shepherdize something, we don't look so much at the facts of it. We're looking at what the law comes out of it. And they were, I was trying to find some relevant cases on point with this statute. So like for us, we get access, like Alexis and Westlaw, it's like a legal library. Mm-hmm. And when you go on that, it will shepherdize it and show you cases that cite to this particular provision. Yeah. So, nevertheless, I say that false reporting is difficult to prove because you've got to show that they maliciously did not that they had a belief. Mm-hmm. But what my thought would be, because what I don't want to do is, if someone says, Otto, there's a murder over there. Mm-hmm. Well, my job, I'm not trained in evidence collection. So this, to me, seems like the Indiana State Police. If you all are telling me you reasonably believe you've been the victim of false report, and you've had 20 that have been unsubbed, right? Which my
Approximately.
give or take, ballpark, right? A minimum 8, right?
Yes.
Minimum, yeah.
So my thought, are you requesting that I ask the Indiana State Police to do some due diligence? Now, are they going to give you the answer you want to hear? I don't know.
Hey, buddy, investigation is what we're asking for.
My guess, because I know what false reporting and the difficulty, they may not. But I don't mind saying to call up one of the detectives from ISP and say, hey, this is what we have. At least, they can start the process.
Okay.
Now,
That is what we want.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm fine doing that.
Right.
I mean, you got a long history of stuff that's been unsubbed. I can't promise you there's going to be any magic
I have
wand.
everything that they will need.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
We believe that an investigation being opened has been the where the buck stopped for us.
I understand.
Like everyone's been denying us the ability to get that investigation done all along.
Sure.
And that's why it's proceeded for this long.
Start going through, we'll be able to kind of pick it up.
Extreme sarcasm.
Yeah. Indiana State Police, you know what we got for you? Pieces of shit. You don't care about kids. You don't care about families. You don't care about nothing but your damn cover-ups, you idiots. You'd be able to read it in context and then fully understand it.
Gotcha.
And we also have audio recordings. Now, a lot of this prosecutors aren't seeing. Okay? But I'm here again, distressed now
Yeah.
for a reason.
Okay.
It is ongoing. They will not quit. And I told the prosecutor last time I talked to him, I said, if we don't get officers working on this soon, I'm going to be back in here again because he's going to do something else. And here we are. So prosecutor's unaware of this, but Anya filed an EPO on me. And then at the court date, now I know that's not illegal,
Right.
but at the court date, she went blah, 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 had nothing to do with protection, making false allegations against me in front of everybody in court. You know what I mean? And that comes from this past week. That's what she's been doing, and so is he.
And you said that got denied by the judge?
Yes,
That
the
EPO?
EPO was turned down.
Okay.
You know, I wasn't doing anything for that. I mean, obviously, I don't contact them at all whatsoever. I have not contacted them more than 3 to 4 times. Her daughter, this guy's so
Still
hard to deal
working
with.
on it, yeah.
I keep pointing at my phone because that's where all my messages are.
It's okay.
But like hey Billy. But anyway, he is so entirely difficult to deal with and scary, right? She's definitely extremely scared.
Okay.
And I'm not afraid of him. I'm afraid of what he can do.
Right.
I'm afraid of where's his boundary?
Right.
You don't have one. You know? Hey, what's up?
How you doing together?
Oh, not too bad. We're
All right.
You think Gary's very busy?
He is in a meeting right
Is he?
now.
Okay, because I sent him some of that evidence from yesterday that I was talking about.
I know he's been in some meetings with
Okay.
council and some budget stuff all
You know
day.
what I'm wondering, Toby? I wonder if we could communicate through another officer to get back to Derek,
Well, yeah. What do you?
since we're here in town. You want to come in here and
Give me a minute. I got to talk to them.
no problem, brother.
Right in the
We'll
middle
be
of
right here, man.
something.
I'm sorry.
And I'll come in and I'll get with you in just a second.
Okay,
Can
thank you.
Can you give me just a minute?
Toby doesn't like being on YouTube. But oh well, he does his job. So we just need to talk to somebody to relay the information.
Here's what I need from you. You know what I'm saying? I never did get those reports from the state or for the Harrison County who's gonna send me either.
I knew that was going to be a problem, Tiffany. You know what? Fuck Mac Music. That's the problem. I'm going to handle his
I'm
ass.
going to file obstruction on him.
Listen, don't worry about
Press
it.
for obstruction.
Unless you absolutely have to. Because what happened was Matt got in cop blocked. He took our case. Let me
I need
explain.
to go talk to the prosecutor.
I will, but hold on. This is for Jerry. We're with Jerry. Oh, and he's got stuff to do.
I know.
I will get you around that, no problem. I got a case number for you that came from Harrison. It's been closed. And then Matt did not start a case, and I got recorded proof of it. And that dumbass did that on purpose. All right. So,
Well, let me, that's,
Yeah.
because you was gonna get them for me and I never did, so you see what
well,
I'm
because he
saying?
didn't give me one.
Okay.
He didn't do
But
one.
we're on the same page. then.
Yes, and now you
That's what I mean,
understand
so-
though, I got recorded evidence of, or proof
And
of
you've
him
got-
saying there is not one.
You'll need Matt's case number if he's got one. Hey, Matt, do you have a case number for what you're working
No,
on?
I don't have it here. Look, do this. I am out right now. What time are you guys free tomorrow?
Well, we'll make ourselves free for whenever you can. We got major issues. We're at Scott County Courthouse right now. I'm filing a defamation suit. I've got Jerry Gooden looking into some felonies that Billy's been committing. I told you, man, I need help. And listen, I need the case number because we're filing a defamation suit that asks related cases.
Well, I have to talk to the department on that. Here, let me do this. I can see what I can. I mean, I can't just give out stuff like that.
What?
Let me see here. Let me see here what I can do. Where are you
Just
filing with? What are you filing with? Where are you at?
I'm at the
What agency are you filing with?
Scott County Civil Court.
Civil court. Okay.
Yeah, but that's not all. Like, we're taking both sides of it. But here's the reason I'm asking for the case number right now. On this form, to file our civil action portion of it, it asks you for related cases.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that you guys opened the case and have a number of cases.
Now, when I talked to the prosecutor on that, they said no on the defamation. They couldn't do it through.
Now, I ain't talking about the defamation. That's what I'm doing. I'm asking you, it's a related case. You did a case, you're doing an investigation on a related case.
Which one's that for the defamation?
The DCS stuff.
They said, no, I can't pull, like I said, I talked to the prosecutor, we can't pull a case against my agency. We can't pull a case on that. We have to look into it. Not against an agency, no.
Okay, but what did you tell me whenever we met you? You said, I can't do nothing about the stuff with Billy, but I'm looking into the stuff at DCS.
Yeah, we looked into it, but we're looking into it too. There's not a case there against, there's not a case against a state agency or DCS, or not a case against them. Once we looked into it.
Well, why wouldn't you have looked into the stuff that I was trying to report on Billy?
That was already reported to by the sheriff's department.
Right, and then relieved to you because
Nobody ever relieved that to me. We don't take stuff over with other agencies unless we ask the other agency asked us to, or the prosecutor does.
Well, look, the prosecutor he did a special investigation on it. Listen to how this worked. We asked the sheriff's department to do it. They opened a case. Then we were still having problems that became bigger when DCS was in Harrison was getting involved. So we went and saw the prosecutor. The prosecutor in turn said, you know what, we're going to do a special prosecution on a special investigation on this whole thing. And then that's when it was being turned over to only you. And then we met you, and you said, I'm only doing the stuff involving DCS, and
Right.
I think you got confused on what the prosecutor wanted you to do.
I talked to the stuff, I looked at stuff DCS, but there's not a case here. Nothing we can pull a case on another agency. And I talked to the prosecutor on that. But the prosecutor, making a special investigation, he never went through our agency to do that. Now, I've spoken to him about stuff, but there was never anything formal through him making an investigation.
I think he expected you to do the stuff I was reporting about William. That's what we talked to him about.
No, that was because I told him, we talked to him, and the county had already opened a case on that. So once a case started, we don't open a separate, we don't start doing like mirrored case or fellow cases.
What county do you think was open on that?
What's that?
What county do you think had an open case on that?
You told me that you spoke to Jerry about that.
And then Jerry said to use our jurisdiction. So it did not open a case. There was no case filed. I went to Harrison County and made a report, and I think that they had opened a case, and then their prosecutor decided to give it to you, the state police.
I've never spoken to the Harrison County prosecutor about anything on this.
All right, well, that's how you got this case, was because of auto shop.
No, I got this case talking to you. I didn't get the case. Well, here's this. Jerry's talking about jurisdiction. The state of Indiana works in jurisdiction. If he's in Indiana, if he's in Scott County calling you, they have jurisdiction. And even if he's not, they can still look into it. But if he's in Scott County calling that doesn't make it a Harrison County jurisdiction. That's jurisdiction. It could be either or.
Okay. What I'm getting at is that nobody had an open case, and then you needed to open a case.
You can stay here, and I'm going to go ahead and run.
Can we rectify this with you, or do you want me to open it with somebody else? Look, I tell you what, Matt. Let's just fuck it. Let me go to Jerry.
I want to see what aspects was investigated. That way I know how to handle that accordingly.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll call you tomorrow.
I need to talk with you
All right, bye.
tomorrow.
What a dumbass. He screwed up.
Yes.
And it's open for you.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so, well, he didn't, they didn't do a report, so what I'll do is that'll be fine. We can do a report.
That way you're not blocked.
Yeah.
And then the other stuff that she was gonna say, we'll handle. We'll handle what he did wrong. So I was watching the video from yesterday where I come in here. I had to come running over here because we were limited on time. There was only like a couple hours of business that was available. We had 3 things that took about an hour each to get finished. We didn't expect it to take that long. So the clerk over there, the clerk for the county, was giving us a hard time about giving us the damn simple form. So when I came over here, I ran over here and just said, Jerry, look, man, they're not giving me the form, and I got to get this thing filed. They're slowing us way down. We don't have time for this. So he ended up printing the form for us. But I didn't tell him what was going on. That's more emergency fashion. So that's what we're back here to make sure he understood that. Because it's been a long, ongoing investigation between 3 agencies. It's been ridiculous. But I think it's going to stop now. The ball's in one court, and now they're going to start taking care of it.
Hope so.
Yeah, me too.
I'm beyond stressed and mentally exhausted with dealing with that mail.
Yeah, and they're just dealing with it. It's being damaged bad, real bad. Yeah. Oh, you're fine, Jerry.
Okay, once you guys just come on back here.
You sure you want me doing that recording that?
Well, here's what I'd like for you to do. I don't care about my office.
Okay, that's all I was worried
Just
about.
just
I'll
this
pause
here,
it on the
just
way
for-
through.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because that's a security thing.
I know it. I had a little bit on there yesterday. I thought. All right, Jerry, you want me to shut this?
Yeah.
I love how you keep it nice and cool in here when it's hot out.
What's that?
I love how you keep it cool when
I'm gonna eventually bring a jacket to just leave in here for the few moments I'm in here.
she
Like a parka or a scarf.
she don't appreciate it as much as I do. Hey, let's start by letting him read that thing. What it involves is YouTube. So he has now gone on to YouTube and found channels bigger than mine to go on there and do, wreak absolute havoc on our lives.
Okay.
And I'm talking about Billy.
Right.
You know. So when it gets to the part where we're talking about the other stuff, I'm gonna pause this out and leave it on the side. We're not gonna use it. And that's just a person messaging her out of probably over 1,000 that are messaging us to tell us what's going on. And then of course we'll point it out to you.
And she was letting me know that these, 5? Is it 5 now?
5
big
channels
that he's been on live.
So what is going on in a nutshell is William has been collaborating with YouTube channels with a lot of subs, and they are publicly absolutely destroying everything there is about us and sharing the kids' documents from a previous investigation that's outdated, been decided in court. William is lying to everybody. He's saying that I beat women. He's saying that she's stealing money from the state. He's saying that she's a drug addict and we're both alcoholics of every night, drinking. I could go on, but here's what we'll do from here. I'm going to stop the camera, and now I'm going to share you the criminal stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because before you stop the camera, of course, everybody in America is innocent until proven guilty.
That's right.
And I have to stay neutral.
Yes.
So that's the reason why I say,
And I'm appreciative of that. That's what I want out of this. I want a non-partisan
Yes.
person looking at the facts and figuring this out with us. Okay. All right. I'm going to shut this off. We have all of our protective order paperwork done, and it has to be turned in with the clerk here in Scott County, Indiana, concerning Tiffany's ex-husband going around everywhere, not just social media, but everywhere, causing huge, tremendous damages with his lies and his bullshit. So yesterday we were here and we tried to file a defamation suit on the civil side, and we did actually get this part of it done. What I'm about to say, we went to the sheriff's office and reported the newest stuff that's happening, and there are other YouTube channels that are actually involved in the criminal matter. It's not good. So what we're doing now, we've got all the paperwork to get that filing for the defamation suit done and ready, and it's getting put in right now. And then the EPOs that we have to do. So we're getting these, and that's protective order. We're going to try to get that in the emergency fashion because this stuff has to stop now. And that goes to YouTube channel people too. Please stop now, because this is a criminal investigation. It's already was ongoing for like 8 months. You guys jumped right into it, and you're helping this person commit major crimes. It's not good. You're putting the kids in it too. So please stop doing that. On your end, do whatever criticism you want, but don't be doing the illegal stuff with them. Anyway, so
what is that one channel that I found?
we're not going to name any channels. If you are one of those channel owners, the best thing you should do is probably contact us through email. You don't have to say your name because you're going to need to speak with the investigators in this. you're gonna have to. So anyway, we're here at the courthouse to get this done, and here we go.
Now it gets fun. The dunce cap comes back out. This guy, what in the world? Oh my goodness. So, one of the reasons I let the dust settle and the smoke clear and all that stuff is I got an email, I don't know, middle of the night, early one more, I don't know. Yeah, I'm up most of the time. I think it was 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning or something. It was an email saying that I was going to be named in a class action suit or some shit concerning this. And I knew better because I hadn't, maybe I voiced my opinion somewhere along the line, but I haven't done anything. So I was going to release a video on this day before yesterday, but I wanted to wait and see just kind of everybody get their videos out, make sure everybody was kind of done, setting their foundation up and what they believe. And I see some things, some traits that I've seen before, as far as exposing. And but what I see here is I see Tiffany having a couple of relationships didn't work out so well, and one of them really didn't work out well, and Chris comes into her life, and he's one of those I'm in control kind of dudes, and so now her life becomes his life, and he takes off with this. And the first thing he should have done was got an attorney. Now, it may be that they tried to present this stuff to an attorney and nobody would touch it. That's possible. The investigators sure seem to be reluctant to opening case. I mean, state police basically said there just wasn't the case there. There was nothing for us to open, and there was nothing ever done procedurally for us to investigate the case. But I think it's just everybody trying to nicely say to you, stop. You got that. Stop. Oh, I mean, they're probably, they're probably being a little too encouraging for you by not saying stop. They should just say stop. They're trying to hope that you'll realize that you can't just put a bunch of shit together and say, okay, it's your job to investigate this. If there's nothing to really investigate, or if a prosecutor sees something that there's no way he's going to be able to prove that, excuse me, in the court of law, because they understand court procedure and they understand what needs to be done, and you don't. So there you go. Yeah, dunce cap. Oh my goodness. What a long journey this has been, just, this one video having so much in it. But, I felt like it was important to do. I kind of, somebody throwing rocks at my house, I'm going to, look into who it was. But as it turns out, it's just a bunch of snowflakes coming down in August and melting before they even get in the atmosphere. Oh, good Lord. All right. Yeah, that's enough of this nonsense. There's still another 10 minutes on his video here or something of, basically at one point he praises the one courthouse, how well they treated him and everything. He's like, yeah, why you should have approached them the way you do on your audits and see if you would have got that kind of help, bootlicker. It's funny how you act when you need them, right? So, all right. I'm gonna let this play out and see if there's anything else that's really stupid I can point out. May as well. We come this far. No reason not to see it through.
Hey guys, we're back for round two.
Round two.
Yeah, hopefully this one won't.
Yeah, there's one right there.
It's almost full too.
Trying to haul it out.
Been busy over here getting your snacks in, huh?
Just had lunch.
Oh, did you? Man, we're right behind you.
Yeah, had some of that Chicago pizza, boys. Good.
Oh, I heard it was good. Across the street?
It was real good.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to check that out.
Good.
Yeah, when we have the money, we're gonna get a pizza over there.
There you go.
We'll see you in a few.
All right.
Hello, these are protective orders. We were told to turn them in here. Is this the right window or do we need to go to the other one over there?
This one.
Okay. So this window, you can see there's two windows. There's one down there and one here. And it's not a big deal, they would just direct you to it. But this window is for the Superior Court clerk. And in that they say what all they do. And we're here with that and then civil court proceedings.
So, your PL number 200.
Thank you.
All right, next. Takes a lot to process these, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. You need
Yeah,
to
just-
put the respondent's name down here
Okay,
on that top line there.
okay.
Because you got your name and then, or just put his
I
name.
understand. Yeah, I was asking how to describe him, what his height and weight and age and tattoos, and I've never seen him. I've never met this guy. He's just nuts. And don't forget, we got this other case to file.
Yeah. One at a time.
Yep, you're right. I'm being patient. Thank you.
Is this the paperwork for your MI?
Yes.
All right, so we just turned in the other portion of what we're doing here, which the clerk just got the paperwork to start the defamation case. It's slander case, however you want to say it.
Okay, guys. So if you're gonna do this, what you're gonna do is take this up to Superior Court. You're gonna have the judge see if she'll sign these, okay?
Okay.
So you would take the verified motion and the order up to Superior Court.
Okay.
Get a judge's signature, okay?
All right.
And what
Are
that's
they here
for,
today?
Hold on.
what she's doing, that's for Tiffany. What she's doing is indigence.
Can I leave this here?
Yeah, and what she's doing is something an attorney would have already made sure was done, so she wouldn't
We
have
can't
to
come
run
back
all
in here.
over in the last minute.
So you're more than welcome to file it, but you would have to pay the filing fees without the waiver signed by the judge. And
Is there
unfortunately-
any judge in at all?
I think all courts let out at noon on Wednesdays, unfortunately.
Let me ask you a question. Why couldn't we leave it here for the judge to sign? What difference does that make?
I've got it.
There's a possibility that she may not. So that's the thing is, if we filed it and she didn't sign it, you're still obligated to pay the filing fees. So,
Right, but if I was obligated to pay the filing fees, then I could just come back here and pay the
I
filing
can see
fees.
if they would be willing for me to file this in the case with it, or without it signed, but if that does happen, then you may be obligated to pay the filing fees.
Yes,
I
we
will-
understand that could be a later date. That part
I
could.
will ask, give me just a moment.
And that could even be done on the phone, online, right? Yeah. This clerk's office needs a lot of understanding, don't they? They need a lot of help. They're pretty far behind. They're nice people,
Oh, very nice.
generally, except for when they hit the panic button on you. The clerk, not so much. I mean, she tried to talk to me about the situation, make it better, but I mean, it didn't change what she did. And she had alleged that I had cussed at her, and that's why she hit the button. But after reviewing the video, I had not seen one single cuss word before she hit the button. She hit the button because she didn't like that, I was not agreeing to her being wrong. That's it. anyway, yeah, they're not totally understanding business hours, how the government has to operate. They don't know the forms they're supposed to give. They don't know the duties that they have. And Tiffany actually pulled up their duties on the forms that we were talking about yesterday. And I'm going to put it in right here.
Yeah, so I don't have 2 dunce caps. Yeah, I need 2 dunce caps for this one. I wish that Frog or whoever would have put one on her head too. They can't look. They can't resist. They had to do a little bit of frauditing work while they were doing this. You didn't think they were going to get through this whole thing without proving that the government doesn't know their job and they're not doing it right, and we had to pull it up to show them. You're lucky anything getting done at all. It just goes to show you how good our government employees are, the public servants, how good they are, because they're giving you fair treatment. And I guarantee you, if I was on the other side of that thing, I think I'd be making all sorts of little errors all along the way. Yes, sir. Yeah, they sure did treat you right, didn't they? You had to do a little frauded in there. All right, it's almost over with. I'm glad I stayed to watch it because the idiocy's coming out now.
So good news. We can actually take this and file it in the case without the signature. She would just have to make her decision on it later, and then whether it's granted, you're good, but if it's not, then you would have to pay the filing fees.
Right.
On this part, do you all have any other sort of paperwork?
I have not gotten that together. Once the appearance is filed, you'll have a case number, and then once the case number is established, then I will submit the rest of my documents via online. So
We have
e-filing, yeah.
We have e-filing.
Okay. We will get you case numbers, get you copies, and get you on your way, okay?
Thank you.
All right, give me just a brief moment.
Just so you know, those forms were just online. I mean, all that had to be done was printed. We'll help you guys a little bit if we can.
The website
Thank
is
you. Thank you.
for public access.
I understand.
So,
That's not what I'm saying. We just looked up, the duties of the clerk's office, and we saw exactly what we were saying yesterday and found it online in black and white. We were right.
I gave it to the director too, so she said that she was going to
No,
look into
we're not
it.
arguing. I'm just saying to help you out.
just give me a brief moment, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
I think she's-
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sakes, are we ever going to get through this? Here comes Dunzo again. He had to rub that clerk's nose in it. Just had to. And he's not entirely right on that. I mean, they kind of know what their jobs are, and there are circumstances that change things, so maybe, but he just can't help himself. He can't help himself. And once again, Tiffany tried to speak 2 or 3 times there, and she's cut off. I'd really like to hear her say more than just a couple sentences, because it seems like she's, been doing quite a bit of work on it. I'm not saying that she's doing anything right, but I'd kind of like to hear her fumble on it. So, but that isn't going to happen as long as Christopher's around, that's for sure. Wow. What is it about Christopher's, the frauditors? What? They're dominating personalities and having to control conversations. Oh, good Lord. What a mess.
Oh, there was somebody there.
Yeah, she's gone. Look at this. Just this alone is a violation. That right there, they're trying to charge $1 per page for black and white copying fees, and the state requirement maximum is 10 cents, maybe 15 cents, I can't remember, but it's not $1. So that right there all by itself is a state violation. It could be a Mandel for somebody, actually. Okay, can I get one of these Post-it notes?
Yeah?
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
just for people who did not know. I'll go ahead and lift that information.
The gift that just keeps on giving. How does he know that there had not been a change in that written policy or law about the copies, and it just hasn't been recorded yet? It could be filed already and not be recorded yet. He doesn't know that. Now, I'm not saying there is, but I can tell you right now, I pay for inkjet printer ink and paper, and I can tell you right now that it's not cheap to make copies. Now, is $1 a little? Yeah, it is. But 10 cents a copy anymore doesn't fly. You can't do it at 10 cents a copy. Not unless you're on a massive program or something. If I was paying for a copy, I'd feel comfortable 50, 75 cents, something like that. $1 may be a little bit high. But then again, you have overhead that you have to factor in. And anytime you're figuring out the cost of something in your business, you have to factor the overhead in there. And that's probably why it's at $1. So, anyway, we just... What a dunce, Skip.
Alright, here is the copies of the filings you did today. Your case number is listed at the top right there, so when you do go and e-file, you'll just use that number right there. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That went a lot better than it did yesterday.
You all are more than welcome to call tomorrow to check back in on the protective orders and on this as well. Understood. Thank you. No problem.
Have a good day. Alright, EPOs are filed. Defamation slander case is filed, and we will be filing motions inside of that from here on out on our e-filing system that we do. So there are going to be subpoenas involved, there's going to be evidence going in, there's going to be all kinds of stuff to do. This is not like easy stuff to keep up with because it's tedious, and it takes a lot of time going through all your paperwork and your stuff, and it's not something we should have had to do. We literally have a life that's getting stopped because of this, and it's complete nonsense. It's totally unnecessary. So William, we expected that of him, and that's why we've been asking for law enforcement to make it stop, because that's their job. They should have made it stop a long time ago, and we're pretty pissed. But as far as these other channels, other YouTubers, we're all supposed to be YouTubers. I don't understand what the deal is. All I'm asking is, criticize me all you want. Don't care about that. Some of it's even funny. But when you start attacking our kids and our family and our business, and working with a person who's under investigation for hurting our kids and family and us and our business and all that, I don't understand that, guys. I do not get that, and please do not put our family through anymore. I couldn't ask more nicely. Legal action on you guys is definitely not something we wanted to do. I just didn't want you stealing my entire video, guys. I'm trying to grow, and I need the views to make the channel grow. What I don't need is people that are watching my stuff getting verbally hammered every single time they say anything. Just, criticize, but don't attack. Don't be like that. Just stop. You got your own life to live. Go live. All right, Derek.
Send it to me. All the information that we
Will
need
do.
to issue on
Of course. Yep.
And then we'll go from there. And like I said, I'll sit down and we'll look at it and we'll investigate it and we'll see what happens. And we'll be fair and impartial to everybody.
That's it, my friend. Yep, that's what we want.
Have a good report.
Thank you. You want us to go out this way?
Yeah, you can go.
All right, see you later, Jerry. Thanks, buddy.
We'll see ya.
I appreciate that we finally got an agency taking this up like I need to. Yeah, thank you, Jerry.
We'll see ya.
All right. Tiffany, this one feels right. I feel like this one feels like the one that we've been trying to do for 2 fucking years. This sheriff has been trying to get involved in this, and the other agencies have been getting in his way the whole time. It's bad, y'all. So Indiana State Police, y'all, you need to check. We're gonna figure you out. And then the other agency, it ain't their fault because it was Indiana State sticking their dicks in it. So
As soon as I can. It's going to be a while, but yeah, I want to share with everyone how well their investigators do their job.